Okay, it's the 27th of May. We've got about 25 minutes to the NY Open. We'll go to the charts real quick. Just got delayed a bit. I had some personal things to take care of. All right. So yesterday was a bank holiday. It was Memorial Day in the US, and it was a bank holiday. I didn't trade the New York session. Let's go start with the calendar. Okay. So no news today. There's nothing today. This is the last week of the month. Friday is the last day of the month. We have some news events on Thursday and Friday during the first couple of hours. The New York session is not important. It's not important. Just let me know if the audio is clear and the picture, everything is clear. Um, yeah. So there is no news, no new important news events this week. Um, and it's also the last week of the month, so I would trade with a lot of caution, right? Don't try to over risk or over trade this week. We just got about um, 3-4 days left for the month to end, and next week, the next week should be NFP week. Yeah. So the next week is NFP week, should bring in decent amount of volume, anticipating NFP week, and then we should have CPI week after that. Yeah. The week after that is CPI week. Then we should have interest rates also. Yeah. The week after that is interest rates. So we got 3 big weeks coming up in June. Starting June, the first 3 weeks of the first 3 weeks of June are big weeks. We've got NFP week, we've got CPI week. That's the second week, and the third week we've got interest rate week, right? So yeah, so just let's be cautious with setups this week. We just got about 3-4 days for the month to end. All right. Okay, let's quickly take a look at what's happening. Let's go upper time frame to the weekly. We've closed bullish, strong bullish, above these price levels, above the most important price level that we've closed above is 3329. Why is that important? That's where weekly resistance is, right? And since we've closed above it, we could we could collect liquidity and push up to fill this wick, right? This wick is over 1,000 pip wick, right? We could start to push up and fill that wick. The current weekly candle has no top wick. That means the daily candle on Monday, which opened yesterday, has no top wick. So we can grab liquidity and push up. That's very possible. Okay. So if we start breaking this high, the previous daily candle high, basically if we start the 4-hour candle starts to close above 3350, that means we are pushing up to fill this wick, 1,000 pips, right? So that's about a 700 pip move from that point on. From 3350, it's about 750 pip move to go up. So if you do get a trade, then you can kind of keep your stops at break even, try to hold that trade, because we should be going up to fill that wick. Right, on the daily, what's happening? On the daily, price has closed. This is nothing. There was no volume yesterday, but today we've pulled back, right? So we closed above 3350. Now we pulled back. Could be a liquidity grab from this area. Remember that this area, we've spoken about this area many times in the past. Rally-based rally at 3329. Then price ignored it, came back up, drop-based drop here, a zone at 3329. Again, ignored it on the way up, then again ignored that, then came here, created a supply level again at 3329, and now prices come here in between 3329 and 3289. We formed a rally base rally. We've broken that zone, right? And the cause of that break is this demand zone, this rally base rally. We've broken, we've closed above that candle high, this candle high, right? So this now has become a decision area. 3289 instead of 3329, instead of 3329, 3289 has become a decision area, right? So you got to watch for this area. Is price going to go through? Is there not enough liquidity here and price is going to head further down to grab liquidity? Or are we going to create some sort of support and start to push up from 3289 to go back to 3329, right? That's the session move that you would want to be looking for, right? As a session trader, that's the kind of move that you would be wanting to look for. Let's go to our trading chart. Okay, so I did trade the Asian session today because I've not seen volume in the NY sessions. So that's why these charts are updated, but now got to delete them. Yeah, get rid of all of this. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this to the right. So what I've done is here there is a 4-hour zone. Let me just talk over this so that I don't redraw it. There is a drop, base, and a rally. We can bring this down here to this open price, 96.63, 96.63. Okay, and extend this as well. So that's a drop, 2 base-in candles, and a rally. There is a liquidity candle in there. I will talk about that in a bit. This is a liquidity candle from last week. Right? And just to be safe, we will extend this as well. Yeah, sorry, I'm still recovering from flu that I had caught over the weekend. But I'm feeling much better today than I did a couple of days ago. All right, that's good enough. That's about 700 pips to the downside. All right, now um, let's take a look at supply. We have a drop. These all would be base-in candles and a clean drop. Yeah, this also would be. So okay, let's start here. There was a zone here last week. I think it was on based off on the 1 hour, was it? Yeah, there was a zone here. This one, this rally base drop based off on the 1 hour. Price has come deep here, so there is another zone here, a rally base and a drop. And then here on the 1 hour, there is a rally, a base and a drop here. And then again, we've created supply here. So now if you look here on the 4 hour, we have a rally, 3 base-in candles and a drop. So we're going to mark that. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so this high, 350, and the close, 36. 6. Okay, perfect. Just gonna push this 33.50. Okay. Yeah. Let's take a look at these areas where price has crossed a weekly SR level or a psychological run number. Let's get rid of these as well, not to cause any confusion. Okay. So we have a supply level here on the 4 hour. That's a drop, a base, and a drop. There's invisible candle here because the week opened with a gap. The new week, the day opened with a yesterday opened with a gap down. So there is an invisible candle there. So that would be a drop and a base and a drop. And then we have this rally, 3 basing candles and a drop, the one we've just drawn. Okay. Now let's go to the lower time frame and look at these areas where price has crossed them. Let's start with supply. On the 30-minute, there is a zone here. There is a zone here. Which just want to take a look at it on the 15-minute. Yeah, there definitely is a zone there. Definitely is a zone there. Yeah, yeah, that's a zone for sure. Yeah, this candle has more 72 pip wick, 82, 89. Yeah, it's got more wick in this candle than body, so it's got a smaller body and larger wick. So that is a basing candle. So we refine it on the 30-minute like this. A drop, 3 basing candles and a drop. 273029. Okay, perfect. Right. Okay, that's a 4-hour supply zone. That's a 4-hour supply zone. That's a 4-hour supply zone. All right. Let's take a look at this area as well. To do that, yeah, we're going to have to push this zone down further down because prices come deep into it now. Yeah, I would bring it here to this drop base rally. The price is wicked into 290.26. 290.26. Yeah, that's the zone. That's what's left of the zone, right? This liquidity candle, let's delete it for now, right? Okay. So the original zone was this, a drop, 2 basing candles and a rally. So the zone was 175 pips. We've come about 80 pips. And still, we've not crossed the 50% mark. So we're going to keep that as a high liquidity zone. Okay. All right. second. Okay. Right. So we have a readjusted zone here and two new supply zones. This is based off on the 1 hour. Okay. Right. Let's take a look at the zone, see if they're high liquidity zones or not. So this one has taken out this drop base rally here. There are three base-in candles and a rally. This move down has taken out this low here, making this a high liquidity zone. Let's go to the 30-minute time frame and look at this. Has this taken out anything on the left? Yes, it has. There's a rally, base rally here. There's also a rally and a base and a rally here. It's been taken out by that. And even this low has been taken out, so that is also a high liquidity zone. Okay. Then we still have supply here. We have some sort of supply here that price is reacting at the 30-minute time frame or the 1 hour. Yeah, we need to take a look at that. Yeah, there is another zone here. There is another zone here. A drop, two base-in candles and a drop, 30-minute time frame. Yeah, we're just going to keep it on the 1 hour. Yeah, drop, two base-in candles and a drop. This candle should close bearish. It should be coming further down. We formed supply here, right at 3,300. Yeah, let's put the numbers on this. 047624. 624. Okay, that's 1 hour supply as well. And has that taken out anything to the left? Yes, this move down has taken out this low right here. Yeah, this drop base rally we've taken out. So this is a high liquidity zone. Okay, better. A very small range, 60 pip range in between them. All right. Next, let's take a look at these areas, the immediate demand zone, and look for the liquidity candle. On the 1 hour, there is this big candle here. Let's start with that. Go to the 30-minute. Yeah, that's the candle. Let's take a look at it on the 15-minute. Yeah, maybe even on the 5-minute. 123 pips. Yeah, this candle here, this 5-minute candle. Yeah, 555329. Ooh. Mm. So we are inside liquidity and we got a zone right here. Tough. Very tough today. Could adjust this to that candle right there. Drop base, single base in candle and a drop. 854, 854, 966. Okay. Okay. Right. So we've got a liquidity candle. The price is inside a liquidity candle right now. Okay. We'll have to see if you're going to get a reaction here to push back up, or is price going to come further down here to this area, or drop even further. Um, okay. Let's take a look at these candles. Let's look for a high liquidity candle inside them. There's a wick here, liquidity wick from a weekly, from a psychological round number. That's a liquidity grab. That's a wick there. Let's start with that. Let's go to the 30 minute. There's nothing on the 30. 15. There is this large candle on the 15. Let's go to the 5. Whoa. Oof. It's tough today. Wow. Yeah. Let's keep it to this 15. 744738. Yeah. Buying or selling today is going to be very, very tough. And we've honestly not had a lot of volume anyway. But can't sell because price is in liquidity here, in a high liquidity candle and a weekly SR level. And so you can only buy, but if you buy, you're buying into this liquidity candle. It's tough. We'll have to wait for a clean break and then a pullback. A clean break in one of these directions. That's what I'm going to be waiting for. For price to either break down, clear this, all of this, pull back, create resistance to take the cells to come down, or price pushes up, gets rid of this, so we push straight through, then a pullback creates support, and a buy to go back and retest the new high. All right, those are the one of the two trades that I'm going to be looking for today, because right now there isn't anything that we could do by the looks of it. All right, let's take a look at this area. Further up here on the 1 hour time frame, there is nothing. 30 minutes, also nothing. 15 minutes, there is this candle here. 5 minute. Eight five seven 611. Yeah. It's really not good price action. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay, further up, this candle, that's obvious. 30-minute. 94 pips. Yeah, yeah, I would go with the 30-minute candle here. $89 pips. Yeah, this one. 730769. Okay, that's it. This is the NY Open. We're going to wait for 15 minutes or maybe even 30 minutes to see what price does. Price, basically, from what I see right now, just a second. Yeah, from what I see right now, price needs to either break below all of this liquidity. There is a liquidity candle here that price is currently in. There is a weekly SR level that price is currently in. And then there's a liquidity candle, whatever's left of this liquidity candle below, right? So price needs to break either below all three of them or below these two, pull back, create resistance for us to take sales to come down. Or price begins to push up and clears this liquidity here, this liquidity candle, then pulls back, creates support for us to take buys up, right? That's what I see for now. Yeah. Let's take a look at what price has done in the Asian and London sessions very quickly. Okay, we had a really nice Asian move down. I took this trade. Where was it? Where did I get in? Yeah, here. Yeah. Yeah, this was the pullback. Yeah, this was just a fantastic move. I got out, I think, about here, about 450 pips, just about 3,300. Yeah, there was a liquidity candle here on the left. Anyway, um, okay, that's the market open right there. The market opened at 3343. Yeah, we're rejecting the London low. Let's see, we'll have to close back above to continue higher. Okay, let's take a look at this. This high 3350. Perfect tap 3350. 3182. 2857. Yeah. Okay. So in the Asian session, we started the move down, 180 pips at the Asian Open, and then the London session we just continued down 350 pips, 360 pips, the London session. Okay, so let's take a closer look what price did now. Yesterday was a holiday, a New York, US holiday, so we were just ranging. There was no volume. Price did come to 3329, created support. We created support and we did push up back to 3350, but it's a very slow move up because there was no volume. So if we just range, the market opened, there was a liquidity candle there, price tapped that, created the Asian high, the market opened here, pushed up again to the, it pushed up once to the liquidity candle, came down, pushed up again, stayed there, went deeper in, tapped 3350, the liquidity candle and 3350, pushed straight down, right? Bearish volume, price came back up, created 30-minute resistance yet again. Again, it tapped the liquidity candle. We can move this a little higher. So 731, 751. Yeah. We tap the liquidity candle again and push. So we created the London low. We created the Asian low. Pushed up, tapped the liquidity candle again. Went straight down, closed below the Asian low. Tapped 3329, closed below it. Price came back up here. We pushed down, came back up. That was a swing high. We created the London high at 3329. Push straight through to 3300, 3300, right? Close below, close back above. We ranged here. We've created a liquidity candle, broken above it, gone deep into it and broken above it. We broke the liquidity candle high and then we came back, we closed back below 3300 and we're pushing deeper into this liquidity candle, right? This was the London low that took price back up and then back down. Now, for price to push up, 30 minutes support needs to form. It's got 21 minutes for the 21 minutes for the candle to close. 30 minutes support has to form. And a tradable bull candle needs to close for price to push back up, right? And even if it does, it'll be tough to take a trade because you'll have to, it's not worth it. Even if you get an entry, if this 30-minute candle closes bullish, and we draw the fib and we take an entry here around 3289, you can run about 60, 70 pips. That's it. Then you got a liquidity candle again here. So it's better to wait, as I said, for one of these two to break. Right? It's better to wait for one of these two to break, either for demand to break and then a pullback. So we push down, we break all of this, and then push back up, create resistance, and we come down to retest the low, the new low. Or price continues to push up now. We break above the liquidity candle high, which is this high, above 3307.5, and then a pullback creates support and a trade to go back and retest the high, right? I'll be looking for one of those two trades today. Yeah. Right now, there's nothing to do. We're just ranging. Look at the 1 hour time frame. There is not much volume. 30-minute, we're slowly, very slowly moving down, and we came and tapped 3289 a couple of times. We'll have to see what's going to happen here. If we're going to form 30 minutes support or not.
Hmm.
Yeah. Right now, nothing. Right now, there is no support. We're still pushing down. Until 30 minutes support is formed and a tradable bull candle closes, there is no support. We're still pushing down. We're pushing down on the daily, on the 4 hour, on the 1 hour, and on the 30 minute. We're pushing down on all these four time frames: daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes. So it makes sense to sell, but price needs to come up, create resistance to take a sell down. Yeah. But I'd be very cautious even of those sells, because if you do get in a sell here, even at 3,300, there is this liquidity candle 40 pips away. It kind of makes no sense. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to wait for one of the two things that I said to happen. For one of these areas to break, either we break below this liquidity candle low. This is, yeah. What is this liquidity candle low? 3283, right? We break below 3283 or 3307.5. Above 3307.5 and then a pullback to retest the high, or below 3283 and a pullback to retest the low. That's it. Those are the two trade ideas. For the first 2 hours of the NY Open, that's what I'm waiting for. Any questions on anything that I've discussed so far? Any questions? You can, you're free to drop in a message in the chat and I'll answer. 50-minute candle is closing in a minute. There's nothing to do here. It's just ugly. Okay, 15-minute candle has closed with no top wick, bullish, above the London low. Hmm, interesting, interesting. Hmm, yeah, gonna have to wait. Yeah, there's no top wick on these candles. We could be coming up. We could be coming up. There's no top wick here. There's no top wick here. Could be coming up. Yeah, but no support. No support yet. Could be coming up. There's no top wick on this candle. Yeah, easy. We could be coming up 60, 70 pips up. But I will not take a trade because there is no 30-minute support yet. There's 15-minute support. I want to see 30-minute support because this is a counter trend trade. Price is well below the EMAs. Yeah. In fact, I would take a sell if 15-minute resistance forms. I would take a sell. I would take a sell. Hmm. Yeah, I'd be looking to take a sell. This point, the lowest point is 275 pips from the EMAs. So price pushes up, creates 15-minute resistance. I'd look to take a sell to come back down here to 3289. Yeah, that's what I'd be looking to take. A sell. 15-minute resistance. And a tradable 15-minute back handle close, I'll look to take a sell. And if you get that, then we can call it a day. Hmm. Yeah. Where could price? Swan. Oh, 15-minute. Yeah, sells 50-minute resistance forms. I'll look to take a sell, but we should come up here. This 30-minute candle open right here. What's this? 3301.44. No top wick. 3301.44. We should come up here. 50 pips more. Then, if we form 50-minute resistance, we can look to take a sell to come down. Yeah. Just trying to see where price could come to. 3304 resistance. That's better. 3303. Yeah, 3303. 3303 or even 3302. 3303. That's where I'd like to see price come up to. Yeah, yeah, 3303. Hmm. Yeah, we're pushing up. Oh, wide spreads. Look at that. 5, 4.3. Wow, what's happening in the IC markets? What is happening? Is there some news? There isn't news today. No, there's nothing. It's no news. Yeah, we're coming up. Okay, 3 minutes more for the candle to close. We got a bull candle trying to close above the London low. We gotta wait. We gotta wait. Can't do anything. The ideas, the first two ideas still are valid for the buys and the sells. And then the third idea also, if price comes up around 33.03, forms 15-minute resistance around 33.03, 33.02, forms 50-minute resistance and a tradable 15-minute bear candle closes, then I'll look to take sells. If not that, if not the third idea, then the first two, where one of these zones need to break. Either price breaks above it, above this liquidity candle high, or price breaks below this liquidity candle low. And then wait for a pullback. Yeah, we're still pushing up. We're trying to push back up. Yeah, 15-minute candles, no volume. We tapped the liquidity candle again. Tapped it once, came down, twice, came down, third time. One, two, three. Yeah, we're closing bullish above the London low. 30-minute support from liquidity, tradable 30-minute bull candle close above the London low. Interesting. Interesting. Seven eight five 365. Hmm. Can we come here for an entry to push back all the way up here? That's about a 100 pip move. If price comes down here, it's a 100 pip move up. Thirty pips. Yeah. This candle took out this low. This candle took out this low inside pre and Y hours. This high is 93.65 and the low is 87.85. Let's see, we can, if price comes here, I'd be willing to take a buy. Safer stop loss under this. Manage risk. 1 second. Yeah. 87. $88. Yeah, 88. Let's say 87. 87 is better. Yeah. Yeah. 87. That's where I'd be willing to manage risk. If we come down here, take a trade with a tight stop loss and manage risk here. It's about 35 pips and 20 pips. I'm going to place pending orders here. Placing pending orders right there. And yeah, it's about a 100 pip move to push up. And here. 30. Okay. Manage risk here at 3287. A place pending order is 3290.7 roughly, 90.7.75, and 3289 point. You can place at 3289 or 3289.25. And it's because 30-minute candle has closed above. The reason for the trade, a 30-minute candle, tradable bull candle, we formed support, and the 30-minute tradable bull candle close also. The same candle has closed um, from a liquidity level. We form support, so we have a liquidity candle there, plus a weekly SR level. The only issue is no bottom wick here, so price can come deeper, create a bottom wick, and then push up. That is why there is a risk level here, 32.87 to manage risk. If we break 32.87, close partial positions. If we close a 15-minute candle closes below that, close everything. Okay, as usual. The reason for 15 that being the risk management level is because of this. See, let's go to the 50-minute time frame. Resistance, we stayed above, we stayed below, we stayed above, we came tapped, stayed above, we tapped that area, tapped it again, stayed above. Yeah. So if we close below that, 32.87, then we're heading deeper into this wick here, right? There's no need to hold drawdown. That is why you manage risk. So I've placed a pending order, two pending orders at these two levels. 3290.7, 3289.2, right? Those are the levels. Anticipating price to push up to 3,300 at least. That's about a 100 pip move up, at least 3,300. All right, we'll leave it and wait. We're gonna let's see if we get triggered. Yeah, this is how I've got my trade manager set up. 50 pips close 80%, 100 pips close 50%. Because we've not seen a lot of volume in the NY sessions. It's always better to be very conservative with your TP levels, your partial close levels. Let's see if price can get there. Now, if you push up here without coming down, if you push up here to 3,300, because that's the area that we are looking for price to come to, 3,301 roughly, above 3,301. If it does that without coming down, then I'm going to close my pending orders. That means price is not coming down. It's just grabbing liquidity from the London low and pushing up like what it's doing right now. We're grabbing liquidity from London low and we're pushing up. We pushed up already, all 50 pips, almost. Yeah, that's very likely what's happening. Okay, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Yeah, I I did it again. I didn't have my audio turned on, so nobody could hear me. Sorry about that. Anyway, there's nothing happened. Entries are still there. There is no orders haven't been triggered. We closed a doji. 30-minute candle closed a doji. The 1 hour candle closed with a wick to fill, which we already have filled it. We're pushing up, coming to 3301. 3301 is where the 30-minute candle has no top wick. So once we come there, then you can close the pending orders. There's no need to hold pending orders, you can close them. We're pushing up. We didn't come to the optimal entry. We just grabbed liquidity from the London low and we pushed up 60 pips. Yeah, 55. 55. We should continue higher. Doesn't seem like we're coming further down. Let's wait. So the idea, the sell idea is still valid. Price comes to this area. There's a liquidity level here, 3,300. There's a liquidity candle here. Price comes here, forms resistance. 15-minute resistance is okay because price is well away from the EMAs. 15-minute resistance is okay. 30-minute resistance is always better. Wait for a, if you're waiting for 15-minute resistance, then wait for a tradable 15-minute bear candle to close. That can happen with resistance or after it. If you're waiting for 30-minute resistance to form, wait for a 30-minute tradable bear candle to close to take the sells to come down, right? The sell idea is still valid, still valid. The buy also was valid because that's the reason I explained why we took the buys. 30-minute candle closed. We formed 30-minute support or tradable 30-minute bull candle closed from a liquidity level, liquidity candle, and the weekly SR level. And also we closed above the London low. But price didn't come to the end, didn't pull back to the entry. The reason I was not willing to chase from here, from the London low, is because I would have had a wider stop loss since this 30-minute candle has no bottom wick. So price could have come below it, push down to 3287, grab liquidity, and then push up, right? So I would have had to hold a lot more drawdown than needed, 55 pips, 60 pips, which I'm uncomfortable with. 30, 40 pips is okay. That's my limit. 30 pips, 40 pips, stop loss, holding drawdown 30, 40 pips is okay. 30 pips, 35, even 45 pips is still okay. Anything above 55 or 60 pips is, you got to cut your positions very quickly because that can easily go into 75, 85, 100 pips in a second. Right? So keep it. Got to have a dollar value in your head that you're willing to lose a day. You also need to have a rough idea in terms of pips. Okay, this is what I'm comfortable with. 30, 40, 50 pips. Up to 50 pips, I'm okay. And then you start to close positions if it gets there. So what I was saying when the sound wasn't on was that think of your don't think of your risk or your gains or your losses or your gains as a dollar value. So think of it as units. So if you got $500 in your account, that's your account balance, 300 or 500, whatever it is, you divide that into equal 25 or 30 units, right? 25 is good, 30 is even better, right? Anything between 25 to 30 units, you divide that. So for example, if you have a $500 account and you divide that into 25 units, you've got 25 units of $20, right? That's the dollar value. That's your risk, $20. So you need to lose less than that per day to stay in this game. You need to lose less than $20, $20 or less. If you lose less than it, if you lose 15 and you call it a day, fantastic. So you come back and play the game the next day again with another unit of $20. That's how you play this game. So that gives you 25 chances to be in the market on a $500 account or $300 account, whatever that account is. For some, it could be a $5,000 account or a $50,000 account. Same rules apply. Divide that into 30, and those 30 units or 25 or 30 units is the number of times that you have, is the number of times that you can play this game, right? And whatever that dollar value is, that's your risk. That's your risk for the day. Yeah, we're pushing up. So we're not coming down. We grab liquidity from the London low, and we're pushing up. We're coming to 3,300. Once we get to 3,301, we can close these pending orders. Price is not coming down again. We're pushing up, and then we're going to wait for the sells. Now, I don't know the sells. I don't think sales are going to happen now. It might take a while. So in about 10 minutes, I will give out a trade idea. It's very likely going to be the sells. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. It depends on how the 30-minute candle is trying to close. Yeah, it depends on how the next 15-minute candle is trying to close, which means the 30-minute candle. This candle is going to close bullish. This 15-minute candle is going to close bullish above 3,300. The next 15-minute candle is important. How is that? Is that going to close further up? Are we going to push further? Or are we going to start? Is that going to close a doji? If that closes a doji, then the 30-minute candle is closed above 3,300. We couldn't be pushing further up, right? If it closes bearish below 3,300, then we could be looking for sells to come back down. So that's why we have to wait for the next 15-minute candle to close. Not this one. This one is going to close in a couple of minutes. We have to wait for the next one. Hmm. Still nothing. It's just pushing up right now. So less than a minute for the candle to close. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, we should close bullish above around 3,300 or just above it. Should have a push up now. Yeah, this was not, I was not comfortable with this risk. 60 pips, 55, over 55 pips. Because price could easily come, this candle has no bottom wick, could come easily deeper into the liquidity candle, even to 3287, and then begin to push up. That's why I didn't want to place a pending order at the London low. If the London low was a little further down, yeah, then definitely. Then definitely. As long as the risk was under 50 pips, yeah, then I'm okay. Yeah. So we closed bullish. Let's see where the next 15-minute candle is going to close. There's really nothing happening. Look at that. One, two, three, four candles all closed in this in a 50 pip range. See that? It's nothing, no volume. Compare this, what's happening here, price moving sideways, to what happened in the Asian session. 30-minute resistance formed, 30-minute tradable back handle close, right? Draw the fib. Price came up, optimal entry, perfect. Clean move down, clean move back up, clean move back down, all the way down. No ranging, just clean. Tapped optimal entry, came, tapped it, straight down, 150 pips. Push back up, again tapped optimal entry, straight down, here, all the way here, 300 pips. And then we push back up to 3329 and then push straight down to 3300. Move from liquidity to liquidity. Tap liquidity, down. Tap liquidity, down to liquidity. From liquidity, down to liquidity again. Then down again, further down liquidity. Clean. Yeah, so pushing up. Let's see. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. We have to wait for at least another 7, 8 minutes to see how this candle is going to close. I'm anticipating it to close bullish above 3,300. Close bullish above 3,300. Then we might see after that a back candle close to come down. Let's see. Because the 4-hour candle is beginning to push up, but we could close bearish and the next one could continue down. Break the high and then come down. That's very possible. It's very possible. We have to wait. 4-hour candle has another 40 minutes, more than 40 minutes. So it's going to take, there's a lot of time. Anything can happen. 41 minutes is a long time for the candle to close. A long time. Wait for the last 5, 10 minutes to know when the 4-hour candle is, how the 4-hour candle is going to close. Let's see. Right now, nothing, no volume, just moving sideways. We're getting close to our area of 3301, 3302, but it's still moving sideways. But the 30-minute candle should be closing above this, towards the, very close to this one here. We're coming here. I said this at the beginning, right here when price was here, that we're coming up here to this candle with no top wick. 30-minute candle, no top wick. That's where we're heading to. What happens after it gets there is what's important. You have to wait for confirmation, see if you have 50-minute resistance form or 30-minute resistance form for price to come back down here. Back to 3289. Right now we're pushing up. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. Yeah, still struggling. It's just no volume. It's really not worth trading in conditions like this. As I said in the beginning, it's the last few days of the month. We've got just 4 days for the month to end. 1, 2, 3, 4, Friday, yeah. You might have a little volume on Friday because it's the monthly candle close and the weekly candle close. So possible volume on Friday. Just possible. It's not, there's nothing certain, but could have some volume on Friday. Just because it's the monthly and weekly candle close. Right now, nothing. Just moving sideways, coming back down. Created some sort of low time frame demand here, drop these basing candles. Trying to push back up. Where can we go to? Here? No, it's not enough. If price comes back here before reaching this, then I could attempt a buy. If it comes down at least down here, we could attempt a buy. Since we have a new low now, we can manage risk under this. Yeah, we have 50-minute support formed here now. So if you do come now, we have another area to manage risk, and if we go 40, yeah, we can take a buy here. I just wanted to come down a bit more. Yeah, 93 is a level now we can manage risk at. Yeah, 93. But if it comes down, because there has to be at least space, at least 50 pips. If you come here, maybe you can take a buy. Price to push up. Might take a buy here. If you come 48. Hmm. Yeah. Come here, I'll take a buy. I'm taking a buy here. If it comes down, just come to 95. Yeah, there we go. Took a buy there. Right there. Took a buy right there. 94, 96. We should be coming to 3301. It's about 55 pips. And the reason for that is we have a new low now. We have a new low 50-minute support formed, a new support formed here, and a swing up. So that's the reason I took the buy, because we still should be coming up here. The idea is this candle high here, no top wick. That's where we should be heading to. That's about 64 pips from entry. I've taken a buy. Trade manager, so I got in at 3294.97 or 96, somewhere around there, 994.96, I think, 97, 98, yeah. Um, Anticipating price to come up to 3301 at least. There's a level here to manage risk now, 3293, because we have 15 minutes support form from it. That's also a level. We've formed support before here, 3293. If you look left, 3293. Yeah, there is a minor level here, 3293. So on a major level, it's a minor level. So let's see if we can push up 50, 60 pips. Continue to push up. It's just no volume. It's coming back down. Yeah, that level, that minor level is in fact the London low. That is the level, London low. That's the level, the London low. So 15-minute candle stayed above, closed below, formed resistance, closed back above, stayed above. So if 50-minute candle closes below this, then we're coming deeper in. So that is why 3293, or the London low, which is, to be precise, 3292.5. That's the level, 3292.5. That's the minor level. Should be pushing up. We're pushing up now, 30 pips. Yeah. Gets to 50 pips, partial positions will close automatically. If you get, yeah, and stops will come to break even. Yeah. If you get, there we go, 40, 50 pips, 45, 40, almost there, 3,301. So there we go, 50 pips, done, closed. Fantastic. Push up, nice push up. Yeah, closed. Yeah. Got about just over, yeah, 50 pips. 50 pips. I don't know why the entire position closed. Maybe because I had 80. I should go further. But we've come to the area of that 3,301. Prices come there. Yeah, we've come to 3,301. Yeah, it should have held. I don't know why it closed all of it. It should have held some positions. Anyway, That was a trade just before the stream ended. You got a trade. If you're still holding, great. Take partial positions. Um, if you're holding, then bring stops to break even. Are you still holding? Is anyone still holding? Bring your stops to break even if you're still holding. Close partial positions and hold for 3303. But close at least, because we've come to the area that I said price needs to come to, which is this 30-minute candle high. We've come there already, right? That's the minimum area. So if you, great. Okay, so but close. You know how NY session has been. So close maybe 70% of your position and maybe hold the last 30%. That's fine. Okay, great. So stops at break even is fine, right? Now you can hold for, I don't know if you hold at close at 50 or 60 pips, you can hold the rest for 100 pips, 120 pips, maybe to 3305, around 3305. You can look to get out around 3305. Good job, well done. Okay, that's also going to be the end of the stream. I'm glad we were able to take a trade while the stream was on. We've not had, this has not been, we've not been able to do this always over the last few weeks because there's not been any volume in the first couple of hours of the NY Open. But today we got a little bit of volume towards the uh, open of the NYSE Open, right? So which is a good thing. We got this nice big candle, NYSE Open candle, that got us into profit, which is a good thing. And we were able to bring down our risks because 50-minute support formed again. So we were able to bring down our risk from there to here. So we had like a 20 pip risk, 22 pip risk on that trade for price to move up 50 pips, but now it's moved a lot, 90, 100. Oh, nice. Nice. Close partials, and if it gets to 3305, close partials and hold. Close partials and hold if it gets to 3305. Because could be coming further. Could be coming further. 3309, 3308. 3308 or 3309. 3308 or 3309. If you get to 3305, high, yeah, 3305. Let me put the TP levels. 3305. And then, yeah, 3305, 3310, right? If you get 3310, that's a very good, that's a 150 pip move up. That's excellent. All right, that's the end of the stream. Um, the only thing in play right now, I'm going to close my pending orders. Closed all the pending orders. The only thing in play right now for the next 2 hours uh, could be sells, but price is now pushing up and there is volume. So yeah, just got to be careful with the sells now. If you're taking sells, wait for 30-minute resistance to form, not 15-minute. Because now we're pushing up, we formed 30-minute support. That's the reason we took these buys. 30-minute support formed from a liquidity level, tradable bull candle closed, and the candle closed above the London low, right? We ranged for about an hour. We ranged, and then we pushed with the NYSE open. We pushed up. So, and we've come past this candle high, 30-minute candle high that has no top wick. Also getting close to the 15-minute. Yeah, we're coming close to this candle as well that has no top wick. So once we break this high, And if we close above here, we could push all the way up here. Push all the way up. You've got to be careful with sells now, because now there is bullish volume in the market to push price back up to this, because we've come deep into this. There is no unlikely there is liquidity here. We could be coming to the next liquidity level. So be careful in trying to take sells here. So wait, hence why I said wait for 30-minute resistance to form, a 30-minute tradable back candle to close to take the sells. Otherwise, don't take them. If you've taken a buy and you're happy with your win, call it a day. Just call it a day, right? Remember, whenever you have a win, may it be a 15 pip win or a 50 pip win or a 150 pip win, you are part of the 1%, part of the 1% that made money. 99% of the traders, retail traders, lost the trade that you won today, right? So be happy with it. Whatever that value is, it could be $2, it could be $2,000. That entirely depends on what your account balance is, right? But if you did the same thing that you did today on a $200 account, then you do the exact same thing on a $20,000 account. It's the same result. You'll get the exact same result, right? But your gains will be it'll be the same win, the same number of pips, but in terms of your profit, your gains, your dollar value will be much higher, right? But you replicate, you did the same thing. You did what is right today. You followed a plan, right? 30-minute support from a liquidity candle and from a weekly SR level. Those are both liquidity levels. As per this chart here, the liquidity levels, 30-minute tradable bull candle closed, and the candle closed above the London low. So everything's fine. The only problem was price didn't pull back to the entries, optimal and sniper. So we had to wait. And when we waited, price formed new support here and created a rally, base, rally, right? Rally, 3 base in candles and a rally. And that is why we placed entry here, took a trade, stop loss about 20 pips, 20 to 21 pips, and took a trade to go up. And now price is coming down, is rejecting that area. Look at that, right? So because that is why I said close 70, 80% and bring stops to break even and wait, because now we're rejecting that area, heavy rejection. Yeah, it's always good when when there are periods of low volume NY session or whatever session that you're trading, Asian, London, Frankfurt, whatever session that you're trading. If you start seeing that it's low volume, then when you have your first partial close, whatever that partial close is, 40 pips, 50 pips, 80 pips, 90 pips, whatever that partial close is, it's good to bring your stops to break even at that first partial close, right? Because price can always, because there's no volume, price can always pull back unless you have Asian session volume like I showed today. Asian session volume. It's just clean move down. You don't need to have your stops to break even. When you see this kind of volume pushing down 150 pips, you don't need to bring your stops to break even. You can keep your stop loss exactly where it is, above the candle high there, and just let it run. Close partial positions on the way down at weekly at liquidity levels. So when price comes here, when it tapped here, you can close 20%, 30%. When it goes to the next liquidity level, you can close another 20%, 30%, or 40%, 50%, and hold. But when it's doing nothing like this, when it's moving sideways, then it's good to bring your stop loss to break even at the first partial close level, right? Bring your stop loss to entry. All right, so I've given the idea for selves, but be careful. Be careful because price is trying to push up. We could be coming further, or we could range because we've made a massive move down. We made a 620 pip move down, right? So yeah, 620 pip move down. So we could just continue to range. The daily candle could close here around 3,000, just above 3,300 or below it, right? It's very possible. And then tomorrow we'd have to see what's going to happen. Are we going to break and continue down, or are we going to push back up? Because as I said at the beginning of the stream, this rally base rally is a decision level, right? because of what happened here, 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 and now here. The decision level. So is it going to hold price and push it back up, or is it going to, are we going to range here for a few hours, 3, 4 hours, and are we going to continue to push down? All right. See you tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. We'll do our analysis and wait to see if we have a setup for the first couple of hours of the NY session. All right. Take care. Don't overtrade. Don't over risk. See you tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST.